Okay, so proof of weekends is as real as it gets, and I've got some incredible news for you today, and I love this. One of the things, the only thing that's ever bothered me is I'm not technical enough. This is my last video. I'm not technically minded. I don't ever claim to be the smartest, most well-spoken person on the planet. But I do try to be unbiased as possible, recognizing that all humans have some sort of biased nature in us. And I do attempt to be even-headed or even-minded when I'm looking at something. However, in my last video, I kind of rebutted a lot of what Crypto Jedi here said, and I've even mentioned this gentleman here, Crypto Car Talk. Sorry guys, I gave both of them, pretty bad screenshots there. And here's the thing. Both of these gentlemen speak from a place of extreme bias for some reason. Extreme bias for some reason. And the crazy thing about it, the biasness, is that they had no logic. They could not, what they attempted to call proof of weekends a scam without being able to explain the smart contract, without understanding it, with clearly misunderstanding the basics of the website. However, some heavy hitters have recently weighed in. One in particular is a massive, massive crypto heavy hitter. And he would go on my top 10 YouTube channels to pay attention to, by the way, if I was going to create a list. And one of these days, I'm going to make that video. And I want to show you this now. First up is not the heavy hitter I'm referring to, although no disrespect for him. Sunny Decree here is right here.
Hey, what is going on, everyone? Sunny.
Sunny Decree is an interesting guy. I've more recently liked him, some of his videos that he's put out when he's talked about kind of the macroeconomics of the crypto space in general. I've not always, I unsubscribed from him a long time ago when he was at BitConnect, and then he got out of BitConnect. I just thought I didn't fully understand his quote unquote change of heart and what he was doing. So we'll see. And he may have a change of heart here, but in this video, he basically says that he covers some of the hard questions that he asked the developer. And he said the same thing. He said, I'm not a tech guy as far as I can't read code, but he understands mathematics, he understands logic, and looking at this in an unbiased sort of way, trying to be neutral. He went into the Discord, he asked the developer some hard questions, he got responses, he covers those questions in this video. But the other thing that happened, and I, here, I'll subscribe to this channel. I encourage you to, oh, I guess I'm subscribed. Does that subscribe there? I encourage you to subscribe to Sunny D. I thought I was still unsubscribed. I encourage you to subscribe to his channel. For another reason, just because he deserves a subscription. I mean, he covers some of the things that could go wrong with proof of weekends, but he goes on to say that he did decide to invest in it. He doesn't cover the amounts that he invested. He doesn't necessarily recommend that you invest in it. He doesn't put a masternode link or affiliate link. But it's a great watch, and it's a pretty even-handed approach to proof of weak hands. And it's fascinating. So, and he even says, hey, at first I looked at this and I just discredited it altogether. But basically, after further review and looking at the website, he gets it. He thinks it's probably a very interesting project, at the very least, a unique social experiment. Now, here's the heavy hitter. This is a game changer right here, in my opinion. This is Craig Grant's channel. Craig Grant, I just subscribed to his channel. He's got some good info. But Craig Grant basically just talked about, hey, this was awesome. Ivan on Tech. Some of the times Craig Grant talks and I don't know if he's over my head or if he just communicates on a different realm. Sometimes I watch his videos and when he's not ranting, but he's kind of flowing, and I'm like, okay, I'm done now. But other times when he's putting certain thoughts together, you can tell that he's got an agenda that he wants to cover. Then he can have some great content. But he didn't know who Ivan on Tech was. I've known about Ivan on Tech for a while. Ivan on Tech, and by the way, that's how is IVAN on Tech right here. You can search his YouTube channel as well. Ivan on Tech has a great YouTube channel. He primarily he's an Ethereum developer. He understands Ethereum programming. I mean, he understands all that stuff. He can look at the code and read the code. He's in the YouTube space. He's a heavy hitter. He's a young guy, but he's an expert in this industry. He gives talks and whatnot, and he has a great channel where he mostly is talking about the science, or science may be the wrong term. You can say science, the science of crypto technology, basically. But he also talks about cryptocurrencies and use cases. He's an enthusiast. He's clearly an investor. He's an educator. He's just incredible. But this is crypto. I hope we can play this okay. This is Craig Grant talking about yesterday on the Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a chat room. A specific chat room set up basically for proof of weak hands 3D token. And he's talking about Ivan on Tech showed up in the Discord, and this is what he had to say.
And, this is what he has to say about the code. The code is solid. I can't find any way this could get hacked. Let me start over. The code is solid. I can't find any way this could get hacked. However, as far as a token price is concerned, I do think there will be a plateau point followed by a dump once the mania ends. I don't tend to speculate on price, and I'm not sure when the plateau point will be, but if my conversations with Manso
Manso is the main developer for P3D, proof of weak hands 3D.
hold to be true and dApps are developed to stimulate volume, this may be sustainable if enough people maintain interest in the project. If there's enough promotion being done, right? And here's another more from Ivan on Tech on proof of weak hands. There is some real potential for the underlying technology behind proof of weak hands to blow up and carry blockchain technology forward. I feel like proof of weak hands is a beautiful accident, one which will be remembered as a catalyst for great projects to come. Bitcoin itself was a beautiful accident, as was many things: LSD, penicillin, and beer. I consider P3D a social experiment, not a serious investment, but I do believe amazing projects will emerge from this technology if developers can deliver. I do believe the serious coin, the next thing to come from the proof of weak hands developers, could be a serious contender for a top 50 token if the idea is executed well. There will be a ton of competition and scams in this field, though, so we should be wary and do our due diligence as YouTubers and influencers not to be enticed by the referrals or personal gains, and instead try to use the technology to advance blockchain further. Man, this is why I'm glad I started a new channel.
What he says here, I've discussed many times. I believe that the idea behind proof of weak hands is the most fascinating thing, period. Like, there is a lot of potential use cases for this token or a token like this or this kind of technology. And in some ways, it's so simple, it's almost shocking that it hasn't been created up until now.
Because my new channel is really for me to focus on the technology, artificial intelligence, and, stop caring so much about gains, because obviously I'm going to be losing referral income by moving to a new channel, but at least I'll be able to focus on the technology. I have been talking to Manso, the lead developer of Proof of Weak Hands, and I'm very interested in what this community is doing. I will not be sharing my referral link, but I will be talking about the technology in a broader sense in an upcoming video. Thanks, guys, from Ivan on Tech. This is simply the best endorsement any cryptocurrency, especially something on Ethereum, could get. He's simply the most popular person right now in this space as far as smart contracts and Ethereum goes, and I'm so happy to be reporting this.
Okay, I don't know that he's necessarily the best endorsement, but he's a great one, that's for darn sure. In the YouTube space, he's definitely probably one of the best endorsements. So, without question, I think when you have someone like Ivan on Tech, by the way, I've watched enough of Ivan videos. My first thought was, what if that's an imposter? That's not really Ivan, right? And he's going to do a video and be like, hey, that wasn't me. And I guess that still could happen. But having watched enough of his videos, the way this was typed out is exactly, it sounds like Ivan talking. That's what makes it even more credible. And the fact that it's measured, and clearly it's when he says he's not sharing my referral link, I feel like in order to even have a referral link, he's got to own a few tokens. So he's probably already bought into the project. If for another reason to just kind of, you know, as a speculative play, as far as he says he's not going to speculate on price, but he's probably just buying it, holding it, waiting to see what happens with it, stay in the loop sort of thing. And it's fascinating. You know, can we lose money on this? Sure, we can lose money in the entire crypto space. Absolutely. We going to lose money because it's a scam? That becomes less and less likely all the time, especially when people like Ivan on Tech has actually looked at the technology. Sonny Decree looked at the technology. You got, you know, Crypto Car Talk. He's just emotional and biased, and nobody is going to care. You got, you know, Crypto Jedi Rebuttal. Let's just put it this way. Both of these gentlemen have more viewers and more subscribers than I do. However, Ivan on Tech, this is big league. This is way big league. Like, Ivan on Tech is huge. Even Sonny Decree, 53 subscribers. Sonny Decree, to his credit, has been able to change direction when he disagreed with something. And I was a little shocked to see this video, but when I saw, I was waiting for someone like Ivan on Tech to come out and either bash it, and that was, I was going to pay attention to that, because if he said, hey, I looked at this and this contract is broken, this smart contract's not that good, that was going to raise red flags for me. Because that's been my concern the whole time. How solid is the contract? Now, if he does a video and he says, "Hey, this was impersonation. It wasn't really me," then obviously I'm going to think a little bit differently. But that I could be wrong, but I bet you that was him. Just reading how it was written. This is incredible news for proof of weak hands. This will probably silence a lot of the squelchers. I mean, this guy just lost. Crypto Car Talk just lost a tremendous amount of credibility. Same thing here. You know, Crypto Jedi just lost, you know, he just lost, you know, credibility. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and that's the latest right now on Proof of Weak Hands.